What's up, people? Come on in. Come on in. Welcome to Weekly Wisdom. We hope you're doing well. Hope you're having a great Sunday. We're giving a few minutes for people to join us as you all are coming in. If you could let us know who's here, uh, who's watching with us, who's participating. Today, we'd love to know. It makes us feel like community and like we're together. Uh, I hope you're having a great day. It's a beautiful day outside um, here. I don't know what it's like wherever you are. Yeah, that's another good point. As you come in, let us know who's here and where you're watching from. Uh, that will help center us into knowing who's with us, where you at,
Hey, family and friends.
where you at, who you with. That's some 90s stuff. Hello, happy
Hey,
Sunday
Stephanie.
back to you, Stephanie. Good to see you. Good to see you.
Who else is with us?
We see more of you coming in. Let us know who's here.
Just say hi.
Yeah, just say hi. Just greet us a little bit.
Or you can say, what up?
You say whatever it is you say. Just say it. Just do it. Push past. Push past it. I don't really want to do all that. Just push past anyway. It won't hurt you. It won't hurt you. It helps us to have common unity, and that is what makes us a community. Common
Come
unity.
on in. Come on
I
in.
see somebody else. Hey, I want to call you Auntie Barbara. Good to see you.
Hi, Miss
Tuning in
Barbara.
from Murfreesboro. I don't know if you remember her. That's Ralinda and Razan's aunt on their mom's side.
Oh, I think
Yeah,
I've met her before.
yeah, we've been to some dinners, and she came to the threshing floor before.
Yeah. Thanks for joining
Good to
us.
see you today. What's up, Sherry?
Hey, Sherry.
Good afternoon. It's good to see you. We hope things are well on your end. We still have been praying for that grandbaby, and we're glad about what God is doing. Okay,
Stephanie's at
Stephanie,
work.
you in Zeeland,
Ooh, that
Michigan.
sounds fancy.
It's a fancy place, Zeeland. Where are you? Where are you at? Zeeland, the land of Z. The completion of the matter, the 26th letter personified into a city. All right. Good to see you. Thanks for letting us know. Anybody else, as you coming in, or even if you're watching on the rebroadcast later after we have this posted, let us know who's watching. Let us know who's here. It's encouraging. It's good to know, and it helps this feel of community. Um, I feel all right today. We missed you too.
Miss you too.
We missed you too. Um, I feel good any day that I can have this beautiful woman sitting next to me. What a blessing. What a blessing. I tell you what, thanks be to God who always causes us to triumph. He treats me better than I deserve. And so I'm glad to be here today with Camille.
I'm glad to be here with Rajel.
Oh, and that's so special. So, no, we hope you all are doing well. I threw a curveball into things with Camille today. We had a whole plan. And then when she sat down, I said, hey, I just got a whole nother download. Um, and so we'll probably save what we were going to do for a coming future week. And I want to give you something hot off the presses. It just came to me, and I want to share it with you today. Hey, I'm simultaneously casting this to uh, the threshing floor page as well. So it's harder to see comments on that end. But if you're there, Mom, you're over there.
Oh,
Hey,
I see.
Mom.
Hey,
Hey,
Mom.
Mom.
Which mom?
Mom
Hey,
Jones,
Mom
over
Jones.
on the threshing floor page. Good to see you. I can't. I was able to go over there and at least see that.
Oh, so we gotta look on. Yeah.
Yeah, I have my phone set up
Okay.
so I can try to see comments and engagement over there. But good to see y'all. We love you. We love you. We know where you're watching from where the north begins and the pure waters flow. And so we are glad to have you with us today as well. Um, hey, I want to share a passage of scripture with you over in First Samuel the 30th chapter. So this is an Old Testament one. 1 Samuel, the 30th chapter. A little bit longer passage than usual, verses 8 through 19. 1 Samuel 30, verses 8 through 19. And even before we dive into that, Camille looked over at me earlier today and she was like, it's the last day of April. Tomorrow is May 1st. And I don't know about you, but that feels so incredible how fast time moves, how quickly seasons shift, how you can go from one point in time and next thing you know, you're in a new month, you're in a new year, you're in a new decade, you're in a new phase of your life, you're in a new opportunity, a new job. Like things just they keep on moving. The pace seems like it's picking up. So it used to feel like it was like on a cadence of like this is just the rhythm of life. And then the older you get, it's like it begins to
Faster.
speed up and the pace is like, okay, oh wait. We just how in the world did we just get through winter? How are we already in the middle of the spring? How are we halfway through the year almost? And so as she mentioned that to me, some thoughts started flooding um, already, and I felt a what I believe to be kind of a prophetic thing about May, and so I want to share that the word May. When we think of May, like I'm reminded of a game that many of us played as children. I don't even remember the whole details of it. I'm glad you're here because you might. Um,
Mother,
Mother
may
May
I?
I, Mother May I, and I don't remember exactly how it went, but I remember it would be some. How did it go?
I think when it was your turn, you could ask, whatever
Mother May I take
person, may
three
I take a
steps
certain amount
forward
of
or
steps,
something.
and the person who gets to Mother, may I,
They were the
the
boss,
fastest,
right?
became, yeah.
If they say yes, how do you pick who the boss is in that game? That's not my point.
Because you got to get to the Mother, may I.
You have to get to the mother, but so the person that's over there really determines who will get there, right?
Yeah, like the pace, really.
Yep. So they set the pace. So um, a year old. Okay, sorry. That's so
Oh,
awesome. That's crazy.
wow.
And that's it too. See there, Sherry? Things move really fast. And so but the only reason I brought that game is that it is a game of permission, right? If the person who's in charge says, yes, you can take three steps forward, then you can move forward closer to the objective and the goal. What I felt when Camille whispered that to me this morning about the month of May, which starts tomorrow, is that we are moving into a month of permission. Oh my goodness. I feel it as I'm saying it, so I know we're on the right thing. We're moving into a month of permission. And what do I mean by that? There are some things that you've been waiting on. There's some things you've been hoping for that have felt to be pushed pause on. That as we move into this next season, I don't know if it's just the month of May or whatever, but I believe May is an unlocking point for permission where you will have permission to go after those things that you've been waiting on. That so far it's been like just wait on the Lord, wait on the Lord. They that wait on the Lord shall renew their strength. They shall mount up with wings as eagles. They shall run and not be weary. They shall walk and not faint. And we've been waiting for those mount up on eagles moments. We've been waiting to run and not be weary. We've been waiting to walk and not faint. But there's been something that said, no, don't do it yet. This is what you're going to do. Right now, what I need you to do is wait. And in the waiting, you are being prepared. In the waiting, you're being readied for the assignment. And so now, what I'm hearing and feeling really strongly is that we're moving into a month of permission. May, May, May I. We're moving into a month of permission. And there's a passage of scripture that I told you we were going to today that I want us to look at. And in this scripture, we find David. And it's David I believe before he's a king, right? But he's a warrior at this point. And so we are, again, 1 Samuel chapter 30. verses 8 through 19. The 8th verse, it says, "So David inquired of the Lord, saying, Shall I pursue this troop? Shall I overtake them?" So first of all, let's just stop right there for a minute. David is in battle. He's a warrior. He's been in this kind of wartime type situation. But in the midst of his battle, he has the understanding, the cognitive awareness, the spiritual awareness to say, before I take a step, I need to first ask the Lord if my steps are the right steps. And so he stops in the middle of everything. Now he's the warrior. He's in charge. He's the chief strategist. He's the one who can make a decision. He's in charge of the troops. He can tell them to go. He can tell them to stay. He can tell them to retreat. He can blow the trumpet for reveille. He can do whatever he needs to do. But the first thing that he recognizes that he needs to do is to consult with the Lord about his plan. And so, as we're entering into this stage, the first thing that you need to do is to inquire of the Lord, to consult the Lord about what you think you're about to do, about what you think your next move is. Not to just go in your own strength and your own might, your own, I'm smart enough, why do I need to do that? I'm grown. I'm not to fall into the ego-driven principles of humanity that we often, and not just males, we all have ego, right? These ego-driven principles of I can do it my way and nobody can tell me what to do. No, first of all, posture yourself and position yourself properly. And the first step you need to take before you take an action, before you decide you're going to get married, before you decide you're going to move, before you decide that you're going to apply for this job, before you decide whatever it is that your next step in particular is, stop, pause yourself, ask the question, Lord, should I pursue this? Lord, is it time for me to go after this? I know Rajel said we're moving into the month of permission. Don't just take Rajel's word for it. First thing, because we all at different places on our journey, stop, ask the Lord, should I pursue this or not? And if I pursue it, am I going to be successful in it or not? Look at the twofold question David asked. He said, shall I pursue this troop? Shall I go after this battle? Shall I pursue this troop? And then he said, shall I overtake them? If you give me permission to go after it, am I going to be successful in my pursuit, in my objective, in my attempt? Shall I pursue? Shall I overtake? Should I pursue? And will I win? Oh my goodness. Not I'm about to do this in my own strength. I'm going to do it. I don't need nobody to tell me what to do. I'm grown. I can do this myself. I have so many years of experience in this. Can't nobody tell me nothing about this. No, move that ego, that pride, that haughtiness out of the way. Lord, should I go after this? And if I do go after this, am I going to win? Is it going to work? Want me to stop? I already know you have some thoughts.
No, you can go ahead.
Okay.
I mean, I have some thoughts.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, I'm. You continue.
Okay. She's gonna do that to me today, y'all. All right.
Okay. I just think we need to be careful. To his point, when we make decisions in life and then say, "Well, God will bless it." We don't get to decide what God is going to bless. What decisions we make in life. So, it's to your benefit, to our benefit, to seek Him first.
That's awesome, Sherry. I see your stuff. This is an on-time word for you. I see it. So David says, "Shall I pursue this troop? Shall I overtake it?" Yeah, it's not up to us. We often think that we're more in control. To Camille's point, we often think that we're more in control than we actually are. We can't make something happen. And so we are in partnership, in collaboration with the one who can. Now, he needs us to work, and we need him to bless, right? And so it's that collaborative piece. Yep. Cool. So look at the second half of this 8th verse. I'll start again at the beginning of the 8th verse. So David inquired of the Lord, saying, "Shall I pursue this troop? Shall I overtake them?" And he answered him, this is good news when you get this. This is the month of May word for you. And he answered him, pursue, for you shall surely overtake them, and without fail recover all. I wish somebody would type, I'm going to recover all. I wish you would just type it and say it like you mean it. I'm going to recover everything. I'm going to recover everything the enemy tried to stop me from becoming, everything the enemy tried to stop me from holding, everything the enemy tried to discourage me from even attempting. I'm about to recover it all. It's the month of May. It's the month of permission beginning tomorrow. I'm about to recover all. I'm surely. Oh my goodness, somebody ought to type that. Surely. That's enough all in itself. Surely. There's no denying the fact. When God tells you to go, you better go. When God tells you to move, it's time to move. Surely you will without fail pursue them. Pursue it. Go after it. Go after it. You got to go after it. You can't just sit there timidly. You can't just wait for something to appear before you. You can't wait for somebody else to do it. It says, pursue, for you shall surely overtake them, and without fail recover a little bit. No, it didn't say that. You shall without fail recover a couple of the things. No, it says you shall surely without fail recover all. Everything that they took from you. Now, you have context. You have to recognize that this troop that he's considering has come in and has beat them up in a battle and has taken some of the things that really belonged to this group. And so you can only imagine that David is like a little bit cautious. Like they just whooped me. And this is for somebody who has tried it before. Oh my goodness. This word is for somebody who has tried it before and it didn't work out the way that you thought it should have worked out. You tried it before and you lost. So David says, hold on, let me pump the brakes. Should I go after them or not? And if I do go after him, he has
specific questions.
Yeah, like I don't just tell me to go after him because I've seen you tell me to go after somebody before and they jacked me up and you were teaching me that kind of a lesson. So he says, should I go after him and will I win? Should I pursue this and will I win? And the answer came back. He answered him, pursue, for you shall surely overtake them and without fail recover all.
The Amplified version says, for you will certainly overtake them.
Certainly.
Certainly. That's a good word.
Mm-hmm. You know, another good word in there is overtake. Mm-hmm. Like, they have a head start. There's some things that they have a head start. Systemically, there's some people who might have a head start. Some of your enemies, it looks like they have advantages that you haven't had. But he says you're going to not only catch up, not only are you going to be level, it says, but you shall surely overtake them. You're going to pass them by. Oh, my goodness. You're going to pass them by. I see y'all. All right. Yes, I'm going to recover all. I'm going after it now. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. All right. Can you read that Amplified again?
From where?
That eighth verse.
David inquired of the Lord, saying, shall I pursue this band of raiders? Will I overtake them? And he answered him, pursue, for you will certainly overtake them, and you will certainly rescue the captives.
My God, you're going to get your stuff back. Oh, you're going to get your people back. You're not going to lose not one of them. I love it. All right. So verse 9. Verse 9 is critical. The first three words of verse 9 are absolutely critical. And it says, so David went. This is where we miss it sometimes.
Right? That next step.
This is where we miss it. Like, we'll pray, Lord, should I go after this opportunity? I've had some heartbreak before. I've had some letdowns in the past. Should I go after it? Is it going to work out for me? Is it ever going to work out for me? And so the Lord will step in and mightily speak to you. Pursue. Yep, surely, regardless of what happened to you back in your context, in your history, do it now. And we say,
Start shaking in your boots.
Ooh. You gave me a yes. I wasn't expecting a yes.
Then we start waiting for the right time.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
I just need to have these things in order.
Mm-hmm. Show me a sign.
Mm-hmm. Right.
A sign. I just told you go. But yeah, we start saying, sometimes we're more afraid of God's yes than we are of his no.
That's true.
Permission granted can feel scarier because sometimes we like the crutch of an excuse to not do the thing.
Yeah.
I wasn't planning on stopping right here. We, in our own minds, come up and formulate all the reasons why we shouldn't.
All the what ifs.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. What if they took our people last time? They stole my stuff. Man, that hurt. What if I go in here and they take more of my troops? What if we die in this? What if it doesn't work? What if doing what God says begins to feel painful?
Yeah.
What if? And then before we know it, we still sitting there analyzing the question we asked and was already answered. God is sitting on the throne like, asked and answered. I told you go. Surely you're going to win. It's going to absolutely work out this time. And we like, that's what I thought before. That's what you thought, but that wasn't what he said. Oh my goodness. So David went.
He went.
He and the 600 men who were with him, and they came to the brook Besor, where those stayed who were left behind. Let me stop there for a second. You have to carry out the initiative. You have to do what you know to do. There is not a step where someone else is going to come in and do your part. Some of the promises that we haven't grabbed hold of yet are because we have not taken the steps to do our part. There's nobody coming to do your part. You have to do your part. God's going to do his part, but you have to do your part. It's going to let you just breathe that part in for a minute. And I see the wheels turning in Camille. I know when she's reading something that she's like,
Oh, no, I was reading what's next. I was like, ooh.
I know, see? I saw it. Go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
All right, she's granting me so much permission today. She's just flowing with the text. All right. So David went, he and the 600 men who were with him, and came to the brook Besor, where those stayed who were left behind. Verse 10. But David pursued. Look at this. Look at that. He and 400 men. Now 600 went. Remember that, right? So 600 went in verse 9 to the brook Besor, but 200 of them got to the ones who were already there, who kind of had just been through this battle, and they stayed with the broken and the wounded. Oh my goodness. They stayed with people who were in pain and trauma. They stayed with those who were triggered. And I can only imagine some of the conversations that happened when they got to the group who had just been routed by this enemy. They probably like, ooh, they rough. Mm-hmm. They strong. That enemy, they knew what they were doing. And 200 of the 600 said, hey, we good. We're going to stay right here with these other ones. But David pursued, he and 400 men, for 200 stayed behind, who were so weary that they could not cross the brook Besor. Some of them got too tired to keep going. Don't get too tired to keep going when God has told you you have permission and you're going to win.
Yeah, and this also speaks to how when God speaks to you and gives you the go ahead, it's going to be a lot more definite within you about what to do. Everyone else who may be around you or who may be helping you, they didn't hear it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they may have a heart to help, they may have a heart to support, but there will come a time, well, it'll be the whole time, where you're the one who has to pursue what God told you to pursue, whether it's you by yourself or you with a few people.
Mm-hmm. And as you pursue what God has given you to pursue, this is an important principle that you got to know, and all of us have probably experienced at some level or another. There's some people who are going to fall off. The more you go after what God said, you're going to have some people who fall off on the journey.
But you can't let it discourage you.
Nope.
You have to continue the course.
Yep. Yep. If they fall off, don't let that allow your persistence to fall off with it. So, verse 9, it says, so David went. And then it starts talking about all the people in verse 10, 200 of the 600 fell off. A third. That's significant. A third of the troops, the skilled troops, were too tired. I said, I can't even cross. I can't even keep going. I don't have it in me. I don't have anything left. You ever been in that spot? Like, look, I'm with the cause, but I don't have anything left. So don't judge them so quickly, okay? Because I think we've all been there. Like, look, for me to have even made it to this point is victory. I see the obstacle in front of me. I can't even cross this brook.
And you never know. Sometimes that is what God's plan was. Like, some people help you to get to certain places.
Points. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, certain points.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So they were so weary they could not cross the brook Besor. But look at David. David persistently pursued. He pushed through. You know he was tired too.
That's alliteration.
Yes. Alliteration.
Persistently.
He persistently pursued the promise.
Ooh.
Woo!
3 on you.
As he pushed through perplexing weariness.
I shouldn't have started you on that.
Oh, I'm not going to stay on it today. But he persistently pursued. He pushed through weariness. You got to push through your weariness sometimes. Sometimes you can feel like I don't know if I can keep going. David did not give place to that thought.
Push through disappointment.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, especially when you have expectation like that certain people are going to be with you and help you, and they're the ones who help you still have energy, and then they can't continue. You have to push through discouragement.
Yeah. It can be deflating.
Mm-hmm.
It can be deflating. Like, oh man, I didn't think he was gonna fall off.
Yeah.
I got used to doing it with that particular troop member.
Yeah.
Like the way I saw the vision. Oh goodness, who am I talking to today? The way I saw the vision, I saw these key people being a part of it, and then I didn't know they were gonna get tired. Oh my goodness! All right, so David went, and then wait, verse 10. But David pursued. So other people fell off, but David kept going. But David pursued, he and 400 men. Not everybody fell off.
Right.
For 200 stayed behind who were so weary they could not cross the brook Besor. Then verse 11. So anytime some people fall off, I need you to understand that God has a provision that he's going to bring somebody in your path that can give you what you need at the next phase of your journey. Woo! He's going to bring somebody in your path. They might not be who you expect. It might not be as many as who fell off, but they're going to have vital information. They're going to have just what you need for the season that you're entering into. And so look at what happens in verse 11. Then they found. So after the 200 that said, I can't go no more, and the 400, what is it? How many kept going? 400?
400.
The 400 kept going. As soon as the 400 pursued, they kept going. They persistently pushed through their weariness. It says, then they found an Egyptian in the field, and they brought him to David, and they gave him bread, and he ate, and they let him drink water. Oh my goodness. I'm going to jump on all of this in a minute, but I want to read verse 12 too because this goes with it. And they gave him a piece of a cake of figs and 2 clusters of raisins. So when he had eaten, his strength came back to him, for he had eaten no bread nor drunk water for 3 days and 3 nights. All right. So God's going to place some people and some resources in your path. What verse 11 and 12 show me that I want to share with you is you have to sow into your support.
Yes.
You have to sow into your support. Oh my goodness. When some fall off, you better sow into the ones that stay with you. When some fall off and then God places somebody else in your path, take care of them. Make sure you're treating them right. Oh my goodness. Sow into your support. They found this Egyptian in the field in a bad way. He didn't look very powerful. He was weary. He was tired. He was unhealthy. He hadn't eaten. He was weak. He was alone. He was abandoned. But they sowed into their support. They found an Egyptian in the field. Yep. They gave him the stuff. Verse 12. They gave him a piece of cake of figs and 2 clusters of raisins. So when he had eaten, his strength came back to him, for he had eaten no bread nor drunk water for 3 days and 3 nights. Verse 13. Then David said to him, to whom do you belong, and where are you from? Where are you from? Who you with? So I got a 90s
Who you with? Where you
thing
from?
in me today. I said it backwards though. Thank you. And so God will use those who others threw away to help you build what you build. I'm getting excited because I don't know what's about to happen, what's going to present itself to you in this month of May. I don't know what's going to present itself to me and to Camille, to any of us in this month of May. But God will use some people that other people abandoned and gave up on to help you build what you build. All right. So that's 13. David said to him,
Who you with? Where you from?
who you with? Where you from? And he said, I'm a young man from Egypt, servant of an Amalekite. And my master left me behind because 3 days ago I fell sick. He was thrown away. They didn't think he was valuable. They thought he didn't have anything of value to offer.
This Amplified version says, and my master abandoned me as useless when I fell sick 3 days ago.
They said I was just dead weight. They said it wasn't worth the effort that they had to tend to me. They were trying to get where they were trying to go. They just left me behind. God is about to use the left behind, the abandoned. Those who were deemed useless are about to be useful. I like the Amplified. He said, I'm a young man. Now look at that. I have plenty of vitality and strength. I have potential. They just didn't take care of me right. Oh my goodness. There are some people even on this today and on the rebroadcast that people have abandoned you. They didn't see your usefulness and they threw you away, not recognizing the potential that was in you. Your potential would really bloom if somebody would treat you right. I want to say to some of the rest of you on your journey who have been past this, treat people right. If you will cultivate, oh boy, the garden. I didn't even mention the garden. I'm not going to mess with it today. If you will cultivate those who have been thrown away and mistreated and abandoned and improperly labeled and improperly used and not provided for, not cared for, if you will cultivate them, if you will show them real love, you got somebody. Oh my goodness. I hope y'all getting this today. This feels good to me. All right. So I'm a young man from Egypt. I'm really strong. The servant of an Amalekite. And my master left me behind because 3 days ago I got a little sick. Some people will throw you away in your season, oh goodness, of going through. Not recognizing that if they stay with you for a little while, if they begin to feed you, all he needed was a little fig Newton. All he needed was a little cake and some water. He just needed some sustenance. He just needed some care. As soon as they gave him the care, his strength began to come back. Oh my goodness, this is good to me. Then, verse 14 and 15, he begins immediately showing himself valuable to David's current assignment. He said, we made an invasion of the southern area of the Cherethites in the territory which belongs to Judah, and of the southern area of Caleb, and we burned Ziklag with fire. David perks up. He said, "Whoa, whoa, whoa! This is who I'm trying to pursue. This is the very troop that I'm going after. You were with the very troop that just came and took away my possessions and my people." David perks up, and David said to him, "Hey, can you take me to them? You know where they at?" David said, "Can you take me down to this troop?" And so the Egyptian said, "Swear to me by God that you will neither kill me nor deliver me into the hands of my master, and I'll take you to this troop." Oh my goodness. What's the Amplified talking about?
He said, "I'm a young man from Egypt." Or you want me to start it?
No, that's good.
Okay. "I am a young man from Egypt, a servant of an Amalekite, and my master abandoned me as useless when I fell sick 3 days ago. We made a raid on the Negev of the Cherethites, and on that which belongs to Judah, and on the Negev of Caleb, and we burned Ziklag with fire." Did you read verse 15?
Yep, 15.
"Then David said to him, 'Will you take me down to this band of raiders?' And he said, 'Swear to me by God that you will not kill me or turn me over to the hand of my master, and I will bring you down to this band.'"
Yeah. So this abandoned Egyptian slave proved himself valuable once once David and his crew had sown into him. I'm going to give you what you need. He became valuable, and God will use those others threw away to help you build what you're building. And he began to give David context for the situation that David was currently in. This thrown away individual that just showed up on David's path. Understand, God will put the right people in your path.
The people he wants you to be connected with, he'll do it.
Yep. Bishop Jake says, "Those who are called to you can never leave. Those who are not called to you can never stay."
That's good.
All right. So he gives David all this context that he needs for his strategy. He lets him know what they've done and where they were headed. David says, "All right, you've told me what has been. Can you tell me where they are right now? Can you take me to where the camp is?"
I mean, an escort
Mm-hmm.
on the path.
Mm-hmm. He said, "I can take you, long as you keep on taking care of me like this. As long as you vow that that this isn't a setup, that you're not trying to take me out. I'm making myself vulnerable to you. As long as you don't turn me back into slavery, as long as you don't put me back in bondage or kill me, I'll show you right where they are."
I mean, he had a lot to lose for both sides,
Yeah.
know.
Yeah. So verse 16. And when he had brought him down, there they were, spread out over all the land, eating and drinking and dancing because of all the great spoil which they had taken from the land of the Philistines and from the land of Judah. They having a party because they got David's stuff. Oh my goodness. This is good to me. This is just good to me. Your enemy thought they won. Who am I talking to today? Your enemy is having a party because they thought they defeated you. They thought for sure that you would have given up by now. But what your enemy didn't recognize is that you had the persistence of pursuit in you. That, yeah, 1/3 of my people were too tired to keep going, but David yet pursued. Your enemy thought for sure that you had given up by now. I don't know who I'm talking to today, but I'm here to encourage you today. Persistently pursue. Persistently pursue. They thought for sure that it was over. They were having a party. They were singing and dancing and drinking. They were having a party because of all the spoils that they had taken from you. They miscalculated the end date of the battle. Your enemy has miscalculated the end date of the battle. I wish you would type, it's not over yet. Mm-hmm. I wish you would just type that, it's not over yet. I'm not done yet. Say it. Oh my goodness. Declare it. I haven't given up yet. You thought it was over, but I'm letting you know it's not over yet. It's not over till I win. It's not over until I recover. It's not over until I have what God said is mine. Can you read 16 for me in the Amplified? I like 16.
When he brought David down, the Amalekites had disbanded and spread over all the land, eating and drinking and dancing because of all the great spoil they had taken from the land of the Philistines and from the land of Judah.
Yeah. So then, just to wrap it up, starting at 17, then David attacked them from twilight until the evening of the next day. He didn't waste no time because he already had a word. He already had permission. He already knew that he was going to overtake them and that he was going to win. He already knew. He operated from a confidence that God was with him. When you operate with a confidence that you're doing what God wants you to do, that he has already set you up for victory, it changes the way you move. It gives you an adrenaline rush to do stuff that your body feels too tired to do. It gives you the energy, the charisma. Charisma, if we really begin to look at the etymology of the word, it is the spirit. Oh my goodness. It gives you the charisma, the spirit, the life to be able to keep going when others would give up. And it says in that verse, it says, what verse is it? Then David attacked. Every one of these verses starts with a summary of what David does. Like, then David went, but David pursued, all this stuff. Then David attacked them from twilight until the evening of the next day. Not a man of them escaped, except 400 young men who rode on camels and fled. So David, verse 18, recovered all. What did God tell him he was going to recover? All. So David recovered everything. Because he did what God told him to do when God told him to do it. Because he inquired of the Lord told him, pursue, you surely overtake him. And then he did the thing. He would not have recovered all if he would have still been wondering, I don't know if this is safe, after God gave him a word. He would not have recovered all if he wouldn't have taken the initiative to push through his tiredness, to persevere and to persist. He would not have recovered all if he would have got discouraged because 200 of them said, I can't keep going. He would not have recovered all if he wouldn't have sown into his support that he found in his path up the road. If he wouldn't have fed and gave water to this Egyptian, he wouldn't have recovered all. He wouldn't have recovered all if he wouldn't have treated people right. But so David recovered all that the Amalekites had carried away. David rescued his 2 wives. It's another time. Don't you worry about that. Don't you worry about
He
that.
got his booze.
He got his booze back. um, but really, what I love is this verse 19. And nothing of theirs was lacking. I feel that thing. This is a word for you. This is the month of permission that you're about to enter into, where when you do what God has positioned you to do with the confidence that He's given you, and nothing of theirs was lacking. And nothing of theirs was lacking, either small or great, sons or daughters, spoil or anything they had taken from them. David recovered all. They didn't even get to enjoy. The enemy didn't even get to enjoy his stuff. It was all intact. It was all whole. And nothing of theirs was lacking. You didn't lose. You don't lose by trusting God. You don't lose by following God. And nothing of theirs was lacking. Either small or great, sons or daughters, spoil or anything which they had taken from them, David recovered all. The word has manifest. What the Lord told him happened. David recovered all. He went from permission to plunder.
Ooh, you on the P's today.
David recovered all. You want to read the amplified of that? What is it? Around 17 or 16, whatever it is. Something 16 or 17 through 19.
Okay, from 17, I think. Yeah. Then David and his men struck them down in battle from twilight until the evening of the next day. And not a man of them escaped, except 400 young men who rode camels and fled. So David recovered all that the Amalekites had taken and rescued his 2 wives. Nothing of theirs was missing, whether small or great, sons or daughters, spoil or anything that had been taken. David recovered it all.
He recovered all. The message to you as you enter into this month of May, it's a month of permission for recovery. Oh my goodness. You're moving into a Mother May I season where God has said, yes, you may. Pursue. Don't stand still. Don't hesitate. I said a long time ago in a message I preached years ago, hesitation is the enemy of initiation. Hesitation is the enemy of initiation. You won't initiate anything by hesitating. If you keep deliberating on this thing, you're going to miss your moment. If he would have deliberated and stayed in the camp, they wouldn't have found the Egyptian who had insight into the next phase of the journey. He wouldn't have been able to be delivered, like escorted, as Camille said, to where he needed to go. If he would have waited, how about we just go to this level? In their party, they might have started using his stuff. Like, they just had the stuff set aside. They party and celebrate and look at our spoil. We beat David. We beat David. And so they didn't even bother his stuff. His stuff was fully intact. His people were unharmed. Sons and daughters. I hope you caught that. Sons and daughters. Like, they weren't just going after stuff. They were going after their children. Their children they would have been slaves in bondage to the Amalekites. They were pursuing freedom for their children. Oh my goodness. And somebody, your vision today is not just about you. Your vision is because you're pursuing freedom for the next generation. I feel
and
that
that's
thing.
why we can't stop.
Mm-hmm.
And I think about if David had stopped at the brook, if he had let those 200 men who felt like they couldn't go on get him down and discouraged, he would have missed his divine moment to meet the Egyptian who escorted them to the place of their, what'd you call it?
Plunder.
Plunder.
I think that's the right word. Bounty. Recovery. Whatever we want to, you know. Some of the things that God is calling you to do are not just about you. It's about setting the table for your next generation. Mm-hmm. They recovered their sons and daughters' freedom. They would have become slaves to the Amalekites if David had not pursued. Their sons and daughters would have become slaves to the Amalekites if David got discouraged and stopped going after what God told him. It's not all about you. And nothing of theirs was lacking. Man, that ought to inspire you to go after your vision if nothing else does. If you don't go after your vision, you can't really prepare the table for the next generation. That business, that business venture may be God's provision to make sure that the next generation can live in freedom and liberty. That they don't have to worry about some of the things that we had to worry about. Inquire of the Lord, should I pursue? Is this what I need to be going after? And will I win? If he says yes, it's on you. Now you got to go. Now you got to build. Oh my goodness. It's the month of permission and recovery. Go after it. Go after it. Go after it. That's all I have.
That's good.
See if there's anything you need to respond to. I see you all been commenting.
Yeah, the comments are good.
I haven't been reading them. I felt a preach in me today. All I didn't do was grab my ear.
They were hearing you. They were hearing you. They're with you today.
I couldn't follow the comments today. I had to keep it going. Thanks.
While you're looking at those, I was somebody was sending me a message asking about how to give. They were actually watching a previous message on YouTube. You all know we put the lives on YouTube for people that there are some people who like to access them on YouTube. Anyway, there's no giving information on YouTube, just so you know.
Oh, okay.
But for anyone, can you roll up to the pinned comment? So for anyone wanting to give, we do have it pinned on the Facebook Live. I don't know, does it do it afterwards too on Facebook? Okay, so we have the Easy Tithe giving option, which is pinned in here. And then for anyone who wants to give a personal gift, you can Cash App $RAZELJONES, $Rajel Jones. So I just put that out there. Somebody was.
And if you really want it to be for Camille, you can put a note in it for Camille. I just messed myself up. I already know. I just lost out. No, I'm playing. Yeah. No, thank you all for the support.
Yeah, and thank you for pointing that out.
Yeah.
We need to get something out there, information on YouTube.
It's not something that is a priority to us where we're like, oh yeah, let's make sure we can get. That's not what we're doing this for.
Yeah.
But we do recognize the power of
people want to sow into these words, so yeah, we don't want to deny that.
Great comments. Thank you all for being engaged. I'm glad this was hitting home. Yeah, I love the declarations. Yeah. Yes. Love it, love it, love it. Month of permission and recovery. Thanks, Sherry. Thanks, Stephanie. Thank you.
Yeah.
Auntie Barbara.
Yeah.
Thanks all of you all for engaging. I hope this week you recover all. Mm-hmm. Pursue and recover.
Be listening for the Lord.
Inquire.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Seek him.
Yep. It's okay to ask him, hey, should I go? Should I go now? Should I go now? Should I apply now?
You can talk to him in King James Version, Amplified Version.
Yep.
What do you ask him? Shall I pursue?
Right. And shall I recover all? Shalleth Just add an F in it, even though that's not how it goes. Yeah. All right. Love y'all. Hope you all have a great rest of your Sunday.
Yeah.
Maybe you're watching this on another day, a great rest of whatever day it is for you today. We love y'all. Love this community. We'll talk with you soon. Have a great week.